Let me ask you something real quick. When a politician says over my dead body, when reporters start shouting, and when the feds suddenly show up door to door, that's not confidence, right? That's panic. You agree? Well, let's walk through what just blew up in Minnesota, because this story didn't just explode on accident.
Their idea of improving this state is being a parrot for Donald Trump, agreeing to everything that he agreed with. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. It ain't happening. I'm not going anywhere. And you can make all your requests for me to resign over my dead body. Will that happen? I will fight this thing till the very end to make this state better. And the question that I think they need to decide is when did the guy in the White House resign? When does he take accountability for what he did? Because it isn't going to happen here in terms of us shying away from making this. Their idea of improving this.
Oh, notice something? He's not calm at all. He's not measured, and he's not even explaining anything. He's defiant. You know, this is the tone people use when they don't want questions. They just want a lot of noise. And when someone starts yelling about Trump instead of answering about fraud, you already know. You already know what playbook they in and what time it is. Now, I want you to watch what happens next. Let me get this queued up, because after that speech, he didn't stick around to explain himself, y'all. I'll just say that.
I'm proud of the way we treat our neighbors. I'm proud of the way that we welcome people to this state. I'm proud of the way that we innovate. And I'm proud of the way that we are optimists for the future. No one's taking this away from us. Not the fraudsters. Certainly not this president. Not on my watch. Tomorrow, I'll be back with you. I'll give you an update on America's best paid family medical leave program that is now a week into it. And at that time, I'll take all your questions. Thank you all.
Needed a beating, that's all, folks.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Look, y'all, the camera couldn't even keep up with him.
Thank you, press. You said you were going to take questions. Why didn't you?
Thank you all. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did y'all hear the reporters? What? That's not conservative media. That's everyone realizing something just went sideways. He promised answers, then your boy ran. And if it was all fake, all exaggerated, you know, all right-wing hysteria, you don't bolt out of the room like that. I'm just saying. But wait until you see why people are mad. Get this queued up, because the next part sounds fake until you realize it actually wasn't.
Look at this. In Minneapolis, on Craigslist, they are looking for child actors for a daycare site. And I actually clicked the link, and it's a real ad on Craigslist. I'll read it to you guys. So they are looking for child actors for 3-day contract. So it says, my family runs a daycare here in the city and have for over 5 years, until Monday, when funding was cruelly ripped away without cause. Due to this insane poor decision, clear and white supremacy, and that must be it, we had to close our doors immediately. We must prove we are a function daycare to get funding back. The issue is the entire client base has already found new daycare services, so we need to find new client base quickly. To help hurry this state vetting processes, we are looking to hire 20 child actors for 3 days while state is present on site. We pay up to $1,500 an actor per day. If you are interested, please send your child's age and a note of what makes your child a special actor. Oh yeah, okay. Submit phone number as well, as we will be doing quick phone interviews as part of the process. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to read this ad. Okay. Who knows if this is real? I mean, obviously these people didn't go to the Leering Center because everything's spelled correctly. So I don't know if someone's trolling or if it's real. I don't know if someone wants to press reply. Maybe I should press reply and see if actually someone gets back to me and let you guys know. I don't know. It's crazy. Really. It can't even, if this is actually real, wow, really. It just gets crazier and crazier. And actually, you know what? I wouldn't put it past them. So who knows? All right. Have a good night, you guys.
I want y'all to let that sink in. Hiring child actors to pretend the daycare is full, man. That's just insane. So the state keeps the money flowing. It's not a loophole, y'all. That's not a paperwork error. That's fraud with a casting call. And here's where it gets worse. This wasn't small, all right? Let me get this up for y'all. Because once you zoom out, the numbers are jaw-dropping.
There's a lot of fraud happening here in Minnesota. You've been living here for years now. How bad is this fraud?
So I was born in Minneapolis a long time ago. I've lived my whole life here. And my opinion is that this is the worst fraud in human history, what is occurring in Minnesota and more specifically in the Twin Cities right now.
How much money do you think has been sent around fraudulently here inside Minnesota?
Over the years, I would say anywhere from 80 to $100 billion.
And right now the big controversy is with Tim Walz and his government and the fraud that they've allowed to happen within the Somalian community. Right behind us is Cedar Riverside, a location where it is very densely populated with Somalians. How have Somalians gotten into the system to fraud the American taxpayer?
Well, so that complex you're seeing behind there, I attended the University of Minnesota, and in the area we're on right now, this is the West Bank, and it was always called the West Bank, and it was sort of the place to be when you're in college, and that was all student housing, 100%. That building you see in the background, it's now 100% Somali, and I can tell you confidently, they don't pay for their housing, they don't pay for their food, they don't pay for their vehicles, and on top of that, they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fraudulent companies set up, and they're sucking billions of dollars out of the state of Minnesota.
And how are they sucking billions of dollars out of the state of Minnesota?
Well, one example would be with the hundreds of child care facilities that they have set up, and on every one that I visited, and I've been to maybe 100 of them or more, I never, ever have seen one child at any facilities ever over the past 7 years, 8 years.
What are the businesses that are being used to fraud the taxpayer here in Minnesota? You have the daycares. What are all of them?
So you have, you have child care, you have adult daycare, you have in-home health care, you have straight health care, and nobody really knows how that's defined. And then you have transportation, non-emergency medical transportation. And if you do a search, you'll see that the state of Minnesota says they have 1,020 non-emergency medical transportation companies. And my research is showing that 95% of those are Somali owned. And what I know is that the people writing the checks at the state of Minnesota never, ever, ever verify that any trip was ever made or that any appointment was ever made with a dentist, chiropractor, or anything.
$8 to $100 billion. Now, listen, even if the estimate is half wrong or a quarter wrong, a quarter off or something like that, we're still talking about, one of the biggest fraud scandals in modern state history, like ever, you know what I mean? Like, which explains why the tone changed super fast. Because once Washington got involved, this stopped being political theater.
The ground, they say they see these daycare centers, adult daycare centers, autism centers, home health care centers all over the place. So that's why DHS has to be here, Dana, to knock on these doors and say, you've received this much money. What'd you do with it? So we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay, glad you're there. Thank you, Alexis.
So Liz,
The ground, they say they see these daycare centers, adult daycare centers.
Door to door. Yes. That's not optics. That's investigators right there. This is what accountability is supposed to look like. Not press releases, speeches, and all that deflection crap. None of that. And notice who's suddenly quiet now, y'all. But before anyone pretends this came out of nowhere, let's rewind the tape.
In Minnesota, we have the biggest Somali population in the country, and we are proud of that community. A few years ago, at the height of the angry rhetoric, a Somali-American family of 4 went out to dinner right here in Minnesota. This guy walked by, he looked down at them and said, "You 4 go home. You go home to where you came from." And the little girl looked up at her mom, and she said, "Mom, I don't want to go home. You said we could eat out for dinner tonight? I don't want to eat dinner at home. You think of the innocent words of that little girl. She only knows one home, and that's our state. She only knows one home, and that's the United States of America. In Minnesota, we...
So, to provide context, Amy Klobuchar, I don't even know how you said, Klobuchar, my fault, is expected to run for governor in Minnesota to replace Tim Walz. And here's that time that she stood in a blizzard to lecture us about the importance of Somalis to this country. She's deep in the fraud. Now, again, this isn't random. This is years of politicians telling you, don't ask questions, don't connect the dots. We don't want y'all to notice the patterns. What you're seeing is not what you're seeing, basically. And now the bill came due. Which brings us to the part they really didn't expect.
It's a pretty stunning development. And in fact, I'll be introducing some legislation to make it easier to denaturalize individuals who've committed this kind of fraud in our country. We need to go after this fraud. We need to have more tools to make sure this kind of fraud doesn't happen. But it's a really stunning development. I think it also tells you, Harris, that this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is this Somali-based fraud that had to do with these daycare centers. There's also a bunch of money that went out the door at the end of the Biden administration that had nothing to do with COVID, but it was on the auspices of these COVID funds. I think you're going to see another wave of fraud. So I think that's probably at the heart of why Tim Walz's demise here is headline news. But, the other fraud that was perpetrated when he was picked as the running mate, he was supposed to be, Governor Jazz Hands would come out on stage. He wasn't appealing to young men. I mean, this was the best they had to offer to deal with the fact that their party had completely tacked to the left over the last decade. And so Tim Walz is kind of the poster child, I think, for not only how out of touch the Democrats are, but how corrupt they are when they actually govern.
Now that got their attention, because when fraud comes with consequences, not the hashtags, the hearings, and all excuses, you know what I'm saying? Suddenly the conversation completely changes. And that leads us to a deeper issue nobody really want to talk about. Let me get it queued up, because this isn't just about the money.
Islam's coming to America.
Islam's coming to America?
Yeah, it's coming.
Wait, is this going to be
one day America will become a Muslim state, a Muslim country. Our goal is to make America Islam.
Really?
Islamic state.
Hey, we thought that the poster was very interesting. It says no ice.
No eyes for what? Who are you, sir?
Who are you? My name?
Yeah.
My name is Anthony Rubin.
You're racist, you're evildoers, you're bad Christians, you're bad Jewish, you're terrorists. This is anti-Islam. You hate Islam.
I hate Islam.
You're haters of Islam. Islam's coming to America.
Islam's coming to America?
Yeah, it's coming.
Wait, is this going to be
one day America will become a Muslim state, a Muslim country.
Really?
Tell Trump.
That's never going to happen.
Yes, it will happen.
That's never going to happen.
God is powerful.
It's never going to happen. Is that what you want?
God is powerful.
Is that what everybody here wants? You want to see
That's what we are. Our goal is to make America Islam.
Really?
Islamic state.
Never going to happen.
Yes. God is powerful.
It's never going to happen.
You control the heart of Americans. God guides whom He wills.
Over my dead body will this become an Islamic.
يريدون ليطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم والله متم نوره ولو كره الكافرون. You're killers.
I have a question for you. Can I ask you a
Yes.
question? You said that America is going to be an Islamic place.
It will be one day.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Does
The promise of Allah.
Here's my question. Do all the other Somalis here feel the same way?
We believe that the believers will overcome the wicked ones. I am from Somalia. And Trump said, Somalia is garbage. It's not garbage, it's gold. ولله العزة ولرسوله وللمؤمنين.
Look at this face. Look at this face. They are harassing our community.
I have not harassed
Every time. They have been there for the other daycare.
Go ahead.
Guys, if you recognize these two faces, give them a shit.
You have like family that goes back in Ohio? Like way back? Like how far back does it go?
Well before the Revolutionary War.
And so how do you feel about all this?
I'm a veteran of the United States Army. I swore an oath to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That includes the First Amendment, the freedom of the press, and the freedom of speech. It also means that I swore an oath to defend American law.
100%.
The American law says that if people are in this country illegally, we have the right to remove them. There's a poster in there that says anti-ICE. That is advocating for the violation of United States law.
See? Amen. Beautifully said.
So what do you say, sir?
I said, that poster in there, if it says no ICE, that is advocating for the violation of United States law. If people who are not American citizens don't like that law, you're free to leave.
Can you show me where that sign says we are anti-ICE? Can you show me?
It says no ICE, man. That's an anti-immigration enforcement.
No ICE, that's anti-ICE.
That's a private property. But no one said we are anti-ICE. No one said.
That's what the poster says.
We respect the law
come on,
enforcement.
you can read between the lines.
We respect the law enforcement.
That's not correct. You are not correct.
What do you mean?
If you hang a poster in there, in your store, whether it's private property or not, you cannot put a poster up there.
No, why are you twisting the words?
No, listen.
Show me where it says anti-ICE. Show me. Show me. Can you show me? Can you show me?
Yeah, I'm going to speak for him because he's on duty. He's not going to say this, and I understand it.
Welcome,
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. You guys come to the United States of America. Great. You know what? Good for you. I'm glad you got. Where'd you come from? Somalia? I'm glad you got out of Somalia or wherever you came from. I wouldn't want to be there either. But then you guys hang these posters that say no ICE. It's so disrespectful.
That's false information. And giving false information is a crime. It's a crime.
What's the false information?
False information.
What's the false information?
It is a crime. Defamation. Crime.
That breaks my heart what you just said. They did it since before the revolution. And this is what the fuck happened.
I'm pissed. I am pissed. If people like this come into this country and defraud this country, and this goes against everything that I fucking gave 11 years of my life for.
Say whatever you want about the tone, but you can't say this conversation isn't happening when people tell you who they are. You've heard that before. Somebody tell you who they are, believe them. Fraud is one problem. Disrespect for the law is another. And voters are done pretending those aren't connected. Which brings us full circle.
You had an opportunity to ask the president today about this, and you did not. Why?
Well, because when he got on the phone and sounded very much alive, I thought it would sound kind of stupid, frankly, to ask an alive person if they were dead. But I'll tell you who is a complete piece of shit. I'm going to tell you right now.
There have been a lot of swear words at this
Tim
table today.
Walz,
okay?
the governor of Minnesota, holding up a phone in front of a rally saying, well, we thought we were going to wake up and find out the president had died. Someday it'll happen. Someday it'll happen. I used to say he was the biggest buffoon in American politics, but it's worse now.
You had an opportunity to...
Boom. Now, here's the reality. No, before I say that, I will say that line hit because people are exhausted. Not with immigrants, not with debate, but with leaders who dodge, deflect, and disappear when truth shows up. But if this was nothing, he wouldn't have run. If this was fake, the feds wouldn't be knocking it. If this was clean, nobody would be panicking. Accountability didn't knock politely. It kicked in the door, quite literally. So if you made it all the way through this breakdown, drop in the comments door to door. I'm going to see you in the next one, y'all. Be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.